Two blocks of masses 3 kilograms and 2 kilograms are connected to each other with a massless wire placed over a massless, frictionless pulley as shown in the figure. The 3 kilogram block is situated on a frictionless ramp which makes an angle of 30 degrees, and the 2 kilogram block is situated on a frictionless ramp which makes an angle of 60 degrees. The blocks are not at rest and are not moving with constant speed. Well, what that's trying to tell us is the blocks are accelerating. Interesting problem. Part A. What is the gravitational force acting on block A? Well, here's block A. The gravitational force would be acting straight down, and that gravitational force we calculate as the mass of the block times Earth's gravitational field strength, G, .00 kilograms times 9.81 meters per second squared. That gives us 29.43 newtons downward, and given the significant figure situation here, we'll round it to 3 significant figures. So we'll call it 29.4 newtons downward. Part B. What is the gravitational force acting on block B? Same exact situation, but with a different mass. The force of gravity on block B will be mg as before, but now it's going to be only 2 kilograms times 9.81 meters per second squared. Ends up being 19.62 newtons. We'll round that to 3 significant figures, calling it 19.6 newtons downward. Part C. What is the component of block A's gravitational force that is directed parallel to the ramp toward the bottom of the 30-degree ramp? So let's scroll back up to the picture here. What that is asking is, of the weight of this block, which is approximately 29.4 newtons, what component of that weight is pulling this block in a direction down the hill? Well, as we talked about in class, that is simply the weight of the block times the sine of this angle. So we can easily calculate that. The force of gravity parallel to the ramp is mg sine theta, which for this case is 3.00 kilograms times 9.81 meters per second squared. Now, instead of writing in 3 kilograms times 9.81 meters per second squared, we could just use our answer for part A, since we've already calculated that part. But I choose to write it out like this here, times the sine of the angle there, which is 30 degrees. So that parallel force ends up being 14.715 newtons, and I will round that to 14.7 newtons. Okay. Part D. Using T as the variable for tension in the wire and A for the acceleration of the block, write Newton's second law for block A. Okay, now we have to think about this a little bit. write Newton's law for this block. Well, the net force on this block will equal its mass times its acceleration. The forces acting on this block are gravitational force, normal force, and tension force. However, we know that the normal force here will exactly be equal to, but in the opposite direction of, the component of the block's weight that pushes into the ramp, and since those two offset each other, we can choose to ignore them. So really the net force we're talking about is the tension pulling in the upward direction, the component of the gravitational force pulling downward. And we have to assume a direction of acceleration just to make things consistent when we start talking about the other block. So I choose, and I could be wrong, but it will let me know if I'm wrong. I choose to assume that this block will be accelerating up the ramp and that this block will be accelerating down the ramp. That is a consistent pair of assumptions. If this one's accelerating up, well then this one is accelerating down. So let's work this one with the assumption that since the acceleration is up the ramp, then the tension is aiding the acceleration, whereas the component of gravity pulling down the ramp is opposing the acceleration. So again, we'll start with Newton's second law. Net force equals mass of block A times its acceleration. What is the net force on block A? It's T minus mg sine theta. T, pulling in the same direction as our assumed acceleration, minus mg sine theta, which is the component of gravitational force pulling down the ramp. So we've got two expressions for net force. Let's set them equal to each other. Ma equals tension minus mg sine theta. Now we can just plug in the numbers where we know what the numbers are. Mass of block A is 3.00 kilograms. Acceleration is unknown, so we'll leave it at that. Tension is unknown, so we'll leave it as a T. Minus mg sine theta. Well, we already calculated mg sine theta right above here, 14.715 newtons. So I'm just going to call that, for purposes of this, 14.715 newtons. And there we have it. That is Newton's second law written for block A, where the unknowns are T and A. So I'll draw a rectangle around that as my answer to that question. Now let's move on to block B, which, as you recall, is pulling down on the cable over here. 2 kilograms pulling down, but with an angle of 60 degrees. Okay, what is the component of block B's gravitational force that is directed parallel to the ramp toward the bottom of the 60-degree ramp? Gravitational force parallel to the ramp is mg sine theta. We'll plug in some numbers. 2.00 kilograms times g, which is 9.81 meters per second squared, times the sine of 60 degrees. And if I multiply all that out, I get approximately 16.99, and there are some other digits there that are small, 16.99 newtons, which I will round off to 17.0 newtons for the sake of 3 significant figures. So what does that 17 newtons mean? Well, 17 newtons is gravity's effect on this block expressed in a force in the direction along the block. The other component of gravity, of course, will be into the ramp, but that's exactly canceled by the normal force, so we don't worry about it. So we've got 17 newtons pulling this way, the tension in the cable is pulling that way, and we're assuming the block is accelerating down, so keep that in mind, because we'll need it right now. Using T as the variable for tension and A for acceleration, write Newton's second law for block B. Well, Newton's second law, F net equals, you guessed it, ma, and we have another expression for F net, and that is the net force itself, which we can calculate as, again, in the direction that we've assumed the acceleration occurs, the net force will be mg sine theta minus t. Mg sine theta minus t. All right, we have two expressions for net force. Let's set them equal to each other. Ma equals mg sine theta minus t. All right, plug in some numbers. What's the mass of the second block, or block B, I should say? 2.00 kilograms times acceleration, which we don't know, so we'll leave it as an A, equals mg sine theta. We already calculated that to be 17 newtons, but we'll use 16.99 and round it in the end. 16.99 newtons minus T. That is Newton's second law written for block B. Now part G. Using the equations derived in parts D and F, okay, that's this equation and this equation, calculate the tension in the wire and the magnitude of acceleration. Well, here we go. Let's rewrite these equations one on top of the other down here for part G. And I will simplify things by leaving off units temporarily. So we'll have 3.00a equals t minus 14.715. That's this equation. This equation, 2.00a equals 16.99 minus t. Well, that looks like a system of equations. Two equations with two unknowns. The unknowns are a and t. And what I see right away here is that in this case t has a positive sign. Down here t has a negative sign. So if I add these equations, those t's will disappear, and we would end up with 5.00a equals essentially 16.99 minus 14.715, which is 2.276. 2.276. A is equal to 2.276 divided by 5.00, which, note, those are positive values. So the acceleration ends up being 0.455 meters per second squared. Since I ended up with a positive acceleration there, that means my assumption of the direction of the acceleration was correct. So indeed, block A does accelerate up the ramp, block B accelerates down the ramp. But we still need to find the tension. Well, that's easy at this point. We just take this acceleration and substitute it into one of these equations. I'll use the first one. So I've got 3.00 times my newfound acceleration, 0.455, equals t minus 14.715. If you solve that for T, tension, you will get T equal to 16.08 newtons, positive number, which is always a good thing for tension, and we'll round that to three significant figures, 16.1 newtons. The end.